Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. So in today's video, you guys, we're going to be tackling a few garden chores. So one thing I want to do is I want to get in and fertilize all of my annuals. So I usually try to go in and fertilize all of my annuals once a week to make sure they have enough food to keep them blooming for a long time. And then also I need to go in and pull some weeds because I got several weeds growing throughout my garden. So I'm going to go in and take care of that today and pull some weeds. And then we're also going to be planting up some shade containers for the back patio here. And then we're going to be harvesting some garlic today as well, you guys. So yes, we got a lot of fun stuff that we're going to be taking care of in this video. So if you are new here, welcome. My name is Trina. I created this channel to share my gardening journey with you all. So I would love to have you guys stay and subscribe if you enjoy gardening videos and become part of our gardening family here. And if you are a subscriber from my main channel, the decorating channel, welcome. Okay, you guys, so let's get started. Okay, you guys, so the first thing that I want to take care of is I want to repot one of my rose trees. So one of my rose trees, I got two, I think it's called Tranquility roses from David Austin. I bought on bare root. One tree is thriving and the other tree, it was on the struggle bus. I think because of the flower pot that I had it in, the drainage holes got clogged on it, so it really gave the tree way too much water. So now the tree is like really struggling. So I'm trying to see if it's still alive. I think it's still alive. I think it just needs time to rebound. But I since dug up the pot. I since repotted it in a new container and let it dry out. So I'm gonna try to give it a little bit to see if it recuperates. But I also want to plant up the other tree in the same matching pot so they can kind of match each other because they're on opposite sides of the raised bed garden. So I'm gonna do that real quick first. But I'm gonna test it. I'm gonna see if the tree is still alive. So one way you can see if it's still alive, you just take some clippers and cut a piece off. If it's still green, then it's still alive. If it's like brown and brittle and dry, then it's just dead. But we're gonna see that. But I'm gonna turn the camera on and show you what I'm talking about. So going over here into my garden. So this is the tree. As you can see here, it's really was so like, it was drowning in its own roots basically. So I had it in this container here, and the pot, it has drainage holes in it. So I don't understand why it was not draining, but I'm thinking maybe because the drainage holes on it got really clogged, and that it was just giving the tree too much water. It wasn't even on irrigation, but we had a lot of rain lately, and it was just getting way too much water. So I since potted it into this larger pot, a little bit more room. This one is, I did get this flower pot from the at-home store. It's not a real, it's like that plastic material or fiber, I guess you call it, not fiberglass, I don't know. It's that, it's kind of like that easy carry material. So, but I did drill several drain holes in this one to make sure that it gets enough drainage. The container here, as you can see, is dry because I've been letting it dry out completely to just make sure the tree kind of give a chance to kind of recuperate, because the roots were like, I mean, they were like soaking wet. So, but I believe rose trees usually bounce back. So I did try to cut off some of the brown leaves and stuff, but I didn't want to cut off too much because I didn't want it to be, you know, take the tree into shock. So I'm going to cut off a few pieces of this just to see if it's still alive. I think it still is. Roses usually bounce back. So I'm going to give it a little bit to kind of recuperate. But yeah, this is what it's looking like, you guys. My poor tree, look at all the brown leaves on it. I'm going to take the brown leaves off just so that we can, you know, just so it can kind of focus its energy on producing some new stems. But yeah, but I got this one here, and then I got another one down there that I'm gonna repot in the matching pot so they can kind of match each other. And then these black containers, I actually have some proven winter annuals that I'm gonna plant into these containers here. And then we're gonna dump this soil out and check it and make sure the drainage holes is not clogged. So let's grab our tripod so I can put y'all up here so you can kind of see what we're doing. And we're gonna just test this one and see. So I just took my clippers or my pruners and just cut a piece off, and the tree is definitely still alive. It has a lot of white in the center of its stem. So I'm just gonna give it a chance and give it an opportunity just to kind of bounce back. So I'm gonna try to take off as much of the dead leaves as I possibly can, but I don't want to take off too much so so it doesn't send the tree into shock. But I'll give it a little bit of time and see how it does and see if it actually recuperates. So as I'm checking this flower pot, I actually don't see any drainage at all. I thought I poked some holes in it when I actually planted these up, but I guess I must have forgot because I don't see any drainage holes in it. So I think that's why that other tree over there is struggling. It was just getting way too much water and it just didn't have any draining support in it for the roots or whatever. So we're gonna fix that today. Like, I'm using this planter. This is the same one that I just shared with you all with the tree that's damaged. I got these from the at-home store. I absolutely love the rust detail on it. I did take my drill and poke in several holes underneath the bottom because these planters doesn't come with drainage, but you do have to add in your own holes at the bottom. So I guess that's why they make them so light and easy to carry. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get this tree planted up. Now I'm just wanting to really get in here and pull some of these weeds out of my garden. It seems like every week that I come in here, I pull these weeds the faster they grow. I added in so much mulch. I added in like 6 inches of mulch and they still kind of grow throughout the mulch. So I don't use any pesticides or chemicals in my garden because I also grow vegetables and everything here too as well. So I don't want to add any chemicals or anything like that, and I don't want to kill any of my flowers by adding weed killer. So only option is to come out here probably like once a week is what I come out here, and when I get the chance, and just try to pull them as they pop up. So this is what this area is looking like, all weeded, de-weeded and everything. It looks a whole lot better. So I try to do it in stages. So I got behind here and actually pulled a lot of weeds. This area tends to grow so many weeds compared to the other one. So now we're gonna move on to the center of this flower bed and pull some of these weeds over here. And then these weeds almost kind of look like my grasses that I got growing here. So I don't know if my grass that I have planted is reseeding itself and it's popping up, or are these just weeds, because these weeds almost look like grass hair. So they kind of look exactly like the grasses that I have planted in this flower bed. I have 4 of these large ornamental grasses that are growing, and I'm really thinking that they are reseeding itself. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. So we're gonna move on to my raised bed area over here. Now this area tends to don't have as many weeds as the long border along the fence, but they still have weeds that pop up every now and then. So I just kind of go through and check. And then also I like to go in and make sure there's no bugs or anything like that on any of my plants, because I do have some vegetables and things that's growing in here, and sometimes the caterpillars like to come out and eat, or aphids. So I just kind of go through and check everything and make sure nothing is diseased or having any issues. But you'll see me just pulling a few weeds in here. So now I want to go over to this raised bed area over here. I want to pull out this garlic. I planted this back in September, so it's definitely ready to be harvested. As you can see, it's already fallen over. I planted out like maybe 12 garlic cloves from my local nursery here in Houston, and these did really well. I think that with garlic you have to make sure you have something that's really grows well in your area, because there's a difference between hard neck and soft neck, and I can't really tell you which one is which, but I know this time I bought the ones from my local garden center, and these actually produce really well for me. So I have like 12 or 13 in here. So I'm going to pull these out, and then I'm going to kind of shake them off and clean them off a little bit. And then they say you're supposed to put these in a cool, dark place and just let them cure for 2 to 4 weeks before you can actually use them. But I think they say you can get at least a year out of, they last for a year is what they say on the internet, but I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out. But yeah, I was so super excited to actually have my first garlic harvest. Now we're going to go over here to my cucumber plant. I actually planted 4 cucumber plants on this trellis here. As you can see, these leaves have grown so large, and I have harvested so many cucumbers on this already. This is like the smallest in this clip here that you see that they actually have produced, but I'll show you guys a picture of some ones I harvested this week that are huge and massive. I mean, this plant is just kind of like vined and took over everything. But nonetheless, I think it's in a good spot. It likes its life over here, so I'm just gonna let it do its thing. I do have some Roma tomatoes that's inside of this bed too, that's putting on some flowers, so I should have some tomatoes soon. And the Romas, once they're done, I can actually just it'll just die off, and then I can clear that other side out. So this bed will actually be empty. It just to be the cucumbers in here. But yeah, so we're gonna pull whatever we can find in here. I think I end up harvesting like maybe 4 this day. But earlier this week, because y'all getting this video late, you guys, I've been super busy, so I'm trying to get all of my content out. But yeah, the ones that I harvested this week are like huge. So we're gonna pull these out. These are from my local nursery as well. So I think I'll share the variety with you guys in my garden tour that's coming up, and let you guys know the actual name of this variety of cucumber, because it's just producing so many fruit. So I wanted to create a few shade containers for my back patio here. So I have this planter that I had for years. I got this from Amazon, but I'm gonna add in some plants. So I purchased some proven winter plants online, and they actually arrived in really good condition, no issues with them. So I'm super excited about that. I'm super excited to get them planted up in the container. I'll share with you the tag of these plants so that I won't butcher the name or anything like that, but I'll definitely give you guys an update in my garden tour that's coming up and show you how these plants are doing. So I started off with some organic potting soil, and then I'm just going to use some biotone. I love using biotone because it kind of gives the plants a healthy start. So for creating this container or these containers, I'm using the recipe of adding in a thriller, a filler, and a spiller. So for the thriller, I'm gonna add in this large elephant ear, which is gorgeous. Elephant ears get pretty big, and they do need full shade in my area, but it's gonna fill in the center of this container really nicely. I'm adding in 2 of the Color Blaze series coleus. One is Cherry Drop, which is going to give a spiller. It's going to fill over and kind of trail down. And then I also have another one called Sedona Sunset, which is in a really pretty kind of deep burgundy color, which is going to give a mounding effect. Then I'm also going to add in 2 coral bells to each planter to add in a really nice, gorgeous kind of peachy coral color. So I always try to go in and backfill and make sure all the roots and everything is covered up with each planter. That way I'm not leaving any of the plant's root system exposed. So I'm going to get the other planter planted up, and then we'll go ahead and water everything in. Just ignore my little son back there. He wanted to sit out here, but then he looked so bored because it is a really hot day. So, I mean, I think this temperature today was at least like 90 degrees. So I'm going to try to get everything planted quickly and then water everything in so that they don't get too dried out. Okay, you guys, so this is what the containers are looking like, and I absolutely love them. So that is it for today's video, you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.